In this video, we will discuss call alert and how to alert the G-Series pager using this feature. First thing we need to do is go to tab 2 in the G-Series PPS, Frequency and System Settings, and then up here above, P25 Trunking System Setting. Here we need to ensure that we have a P25 system enabled in the file, and that all of the information we have entered is correct, including the site list and control channel list. Next, we need to move to tab 3, the protocol parameter settings, and ensure that we have a P25 trunking protocol selected. If one does not exist here, you can always click the new button, and then a drop-down menu will be presented, and you can select P25 trunking from that menu. After selecting that, we can move on to tab 5. And tab 5 is our group ID settings. It's where we add our group IDs, including the P25 trunking TGID that we're going to be using as our traffic ID, or the TGID that the call alert will be sent across. Once we have that information set here, we can go to private call ID setting here at the top. Now currently the unit supports one SUID, and today I'm going to use TGID or SUID 123456 just as an example. But this SUID will be the ID that is given to you by either the dispatch center or the system administrator, and will be used to identify your specific department or your specific unit. This SUID should share the ID between the ID of an active radio on the system. That will allow for the two-way handshake between the receiving device and the transmitting device. If you were to initiate a call alert without a receiving device that is affiliated, essentially the device would show a no receiving device error of some kind. You would get an error. Call alert is usually a two-way handshake that needs to be completed. So generally, people will put the radio ID of their base radio in their station, or the radio that is on their engine, for instance. And because the G-Series pagers do not affiliate onto the system does not know it's there, and therefore if all of your pagers share the same SUID, they can all be alerted at the same time and does not cause any conflicts in the system itself. Here you can select your alert tone and your background color, and it can be changed to whatever one of those options you would like. And now from here we can move on to our zone and channel settings. In our zone and channel settings, we're going to go to knob 1, and here we're going to set up a trunking talk group scan. You always want to use trunking talk group scan whether you're scanning a single talk group or multiple. Trunking talk group monitor will cause the unit to monitor the site itself, and you will hear all talk groups on that site regardless of whether they're programmed into the unit. So our P25 trunking system is shown here, and our protocol alias is shown here. And we're going to select as a binding feature our call alert feature. Now, let's talk about reset modes. Reset modes are very important. It determines the behavior of the unit after the alert. Auto reset, the unit will reset automatically after the carrier drops once a page is received. Selective timeout reset, it will go through a timer which will allow us to set here in a second. And after that time has elapsed, as soon as the carrier drops, it will also reset. And then selective manual reset is just as it says, the manual reset. You have to press the button on the side to reset the device. Okay, so we're going to use selective timeout reset. I'm going to leave a 30-second timer for this. It's by default. Okay, we could select push to listen if we want it to be silent until we press the button on the side. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to set it up with this TGID, which is my current TGID. We're going to move that from the left list to the right under priority talk group list. And then under binding setting, we're going to select call alert setting. We're going to edit the SUID, and then we're going to add that TGID to the list. Now I want to speak about this alt setting. Now what alt does, it stands for alternatives. And what that does is if that box is unchecked, the unit will be silent and will not hear any traffic on that TGID unless there is an accompanying call alert. Now, if you were to check this box, you would hear all the traffic on that TGID, and then when there's a call alert, it would alert, and you would continue to hear the traffic. So I'm going to set this up as a selective call, so I'm going to hit OK here with alternatives unchecked. That's essentially it for a selective call. So we can just name this SC. One great thing about the software is it allows for copy and paste between knob positions. So we're going to copy and paste, and it creates an exact copy. So we're going to click here on knob position 2 that we just created. It will open. We're going to change this to monitor, and then we're going to move down here to our call alert setting. Go in to the edit, and we're going to check that alternatives box. Again, that will allow the unit to be audible at all times. So, doing that, we have set up a selective call in a monitor position using the call alert alerting method. There's also a checkbox here in function selection under paging functions that we need to check. It's enable call alert radio service. I want to make sure that that's checked. Other than that, that is all you need to do to set up alerting for call alert on the G series devices, that being the G2 through the G5. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. And have a great day.